What's going on, Knicks Nation? Welcome back to Knicks Deli, baby. I am your host. My name is Shea, of course. I want to thank you for joining me. I just wanted to check in. I think I might have a string of unusual check-ins this week, but I'm feeling motivated about it. So let's go. I wanted to hop on here and talk a little bit about the NBA Illuminati. Yeah, that's right. I said it. The NBA got an Illuminati, okay? It's the same Illuminati that controls the narrative, that really gets off when a player such as LeBron James comes into the league, because they know they can ride the back of that whale all the way to the shore, all right? It's the same Illuminati that gathers and gets in place when a player such as Zion or is getting ready to come into the league, or John Morant takes the world by storm, or Allen Iverson comes in and takes the world by storm. The NBA Illuminati sees everything. It's omnipotent, it's omniscient, it's omnipresent, it's all-knowing and everywhere at every moment of the day. All right? Now, in a couple of my videos, I alluded to this. I alluded to there being an NBA Illuminati. And the way I talked about it in line with LeBron James, because they worked so well in concert together and it was mutually beneficial. When LeBron James did well and excelled, the NBA did well and excelled, and all was good in the NBA Illuminati universe. But now that seems to be disrupted, now that it seems to be an in-between period between the NBA success and a successful transition of power from whoever's going to carry the torch to LeBron James, who's already carrying the torch, to pass that torch to whoever's going to carry it into the future. It seems to be in that in-between place, and the uncertain part is that we don't know who's going to be next, okay? So I'm going to jump subjects real quick. I'm going to jump topics. The topic I want to get to is all of the firings at ESPN. Now, I know I just did a video and I just talked about New York Knicks fans being responsible for the purge, and that's accurate. It's accurate. And the way it ties in with the NBA Illuminati is, there was an article or a post somebody mentioned, and they talked about, we know the real reason why all those firings took place at ESPN. They're saying that the NBA is pretty much leaning on ESPN for whatever reason, Now, that's not probably factual. There's probably people, spreading rumors about that, but I don't think they're that far off. And this is why I don't think they're that far off. Because if you watch the Grant Hill video on Knuckleheads, shout out to Quentin Richardson and Darius Miles. Watch Grant Hill's interview on that. He said, listen, the NBA is a marketing and advertising firm worldwide. They've become masters at global marketing, global advertising. And he's spot on with that. He said they can take a no-name and make them famous and really push the machine behind them. So I say that to say this. Right now, there's a whole new wave of teams and personalities and young players who are at this point. They're at this point of really making a name for themselves. Look at the last year's playoffs. I mean, hell, look at your NBA champion right now. So we're at a space where the NBA is primed to identify who they want to put the machine behind for the next 10 years. I'm telling you, I foresaw it, because I'm telling you, when they selected Jalen Brunson to be on the FIBA team, it was almost like an apology. It was like an apology, because when we left it up to the fans to vote you in because you deserved an all-star spot, they didn't do so. where we left it up to the NBA peers to select Jalen Brunson for an All-NBA spot. They didn't do so. Missed opportunities abroad. When it came an opportunity to select that man for most improved player of the year, they didn't do so. So the NBA could control who they selected for FIBA, and that was the first step that they, I apologize, Brunson, we got you. Of course, we need to have somebody who represents the United States to the rest of the world, but most importantly, represents New York, the largest market in the NBA, who's on the come up. Oh yeah, that's a marketing advertising dream. Watch what's happening, Knicks fans, and enjoy every moment of it. They're slowly looking at how can they intertwine New York as they begin to ascend. They're watching all of the solid moves. They're watching the fact that New York is setting their own prices and walking away when the price isn't met. They're making sound decisions. They're literally block by block, brick by brick, putting together the team they want to put together. Knicks fans, we got to stop clamoring just to make a move. We need to start clamoring to make moves that's going to help us be a fucking dynasty. But the the NBA Illuminati seems to be the primary character behind a lot of those shifts that that ESPN is making. If you think about it, the ESPN, for the same duration of the time that the Knicks have been down, the ESPN has been one of the biggest proponents for humiliating the New York Knicks organization, the New York Knicks team. That's it. You couldn't get away from them. ESPN got 4 or 5 channels, and each of them, whether it's in English or another language, they focus their programming around inserting, disparaging and insulting comments about the New York Knicks. Hell, because they did it so regularly and made it so common and hired personalities that would intertwine snarky remarks, overt or covert remarks that were negative about the New York Knicks, it spilled out into common culture, where it became the thing to do, to embed that in movies. I mean, they had the movie Soul, which is an animated film, where they made a joke about embarrassing the Knicks. You had Dan Rather, one of the most respected reporters and media personalities and historical figures in the journalism game, taking shots at the New York Knicks. All of that. But all of that is made possible when it's mainstreamed and commercialized as a thing to do. Now that the New York Knicks are on their way up, how can you get that narrative back? How can you change that narrative? The team has done their job. The team has already showed you that they're no longer a joke. 2 out of 3 years making the playoffs. Getting a signing of a player that you foresee the potential in, and him fulfilling it, and really showing that if you build around him, you have another player there who started off shaky, but he's starting to stabilize. New York Knicks are looking up. They got draft picks. They are going to be a player over the next 5 years, at least. Now, how do you correct that narrative? How do you make it right in the NBA universe? You got to shut down this out-of-control machine that's really disparaging a team that you're trying to attach your wagon to over the next 5 years. And I know sometimes I'm overselling the role that the New York Knicks will play in carrying the league, but I'm telling you, we're going to be one of those teams. We were already, between the 2 years we made the playoffs, top 6. And we don't have the players that we plan to have. So the NBA Illuminati is back to doing what they're doing Illuminatiing. But keep your eyes on it. I'm telling you, it's a thing. What do y'all think? Leave your comments below. Come on, man. Listen, put your metal, the aluminum foil 10 hats on. But open your eyes and see what's going on. I'm telling you, I can't be 100% crazy. And if I can, I need people to be on this bandwagon with me. So what say you? Shout out to you. Keep in mind, same thing applies to life, that applies to our team. If there's no struggle, there's no progress. And what is the motto here in Knicks Deli? Everybody eats, goddammit. Take care. Peace.